All right, everybody, look. I love making lists. I feel like I've been waiting for the day that something like this became a meme on YouTube so that my life could be complete.
Yes.
But it's kind of a new meme. There's kind of a lot of God, I keep like moving the camera thinking like trying to predict where I'm going to be. There's not a lot of lists on this website that has the list maker website yet. The tier maker. Tiermaker.com is what we're using. I might as well promote it since I love it.
Yeah, since your face is all over it.
Yeah, I'm in a bunch of lists.
Oh my god.
I love making lists. I would do this all the time if there were enough good lists. Now, the biggest problem with the anime and manga section on here is that it's all just character lists for shows. I think the most interesting thing would be genre lists. If I had to compare all the different shows in a single genre, like one list I would definitely do if somebody made it would be 4 girls shows about 4 or 5 girls in high school. That would be a ton of fun.
I mean, these seem like very easy to just create on your own.
Yeah, and I don't want to have to do it myself. So if anybody wants to do it because there's something that they want me to tier list, you go ahead and create it. There's a good chance I'll make it if it has effort put into it and is about a subject that I am interested in. So 4 girls shows would be highly interesting. Here's some other ones. All right, we're going to do a cereal list in this episode, but it's not very complete. We need a better cereal list so we can do an updated version of it after we do the one in here.
Breakfast cereal?
Yeah, breakfast cereal.
Oh boy, that's really exciting.
It's exciting, except that they didn't include a lot of them. It's very incomplete.
I'm like fucking mad.
The biggest problem with this whole thing is that too many people make these who just don't know shit, who just come up with the first 10 off the top of their head. The ultimate example of this is beer, where I'm convinced all of the beer tier lists were made by somebody who was drunk, got about 10 beers deep, and realized they didn't want to do this. Our fucking camera died. I don't know what's wrong with the camera. But we're gonna have to kill the camera, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
I think that is another thing we have to add to the things we gotta buy. How old is that webcam?
It's pretty old, but I mean, I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know if it's just overheating. Whatever.
It might be the lights.
So
like
I need I need a very complete beer list. I can rank probably 100 beers, just from memory. You know, there's more I'd be willing to try just to fucking make a beer list. Condiments list. We need a condiments ranking list. Freezer foods. This is going to be a hard one because I think there's a lot of things that could be considered freezer foods. I don't know who's going to, I don't know if you just want to go to your local grocery store and make a list of them all. I need a better GameCube game list. There was one that was...
It was pretty lame.
Didn't have much.
It was mainly Mario Party.
Yeah, well, it had too many of like the same games from the same series and not anything outside of that. It just seemed like GameCube games the guy had played. Retail stores. This seems like an obvious one. You know, Best Buy, GameStop, like retail stores. And then also grocery stores.
Ooh.
Grocery stores will be harder.
I'm gonna make that literally.
A lot of them are regional, so like I mean, if you made one.
Same thing with the fast food.
Yeah, but do you know enough other grocery stores to make a list of all of those?
If you're not a well-traveled, well-versed individual, you do not deserve to participate in the grocery ranking.
All right. Well, here's 2 that I personally don't necessarily want to do, but I want to see other people do. Toiletries. I want to know if somebody is passionate about toiletries, I'd like to see them rank them. And airlines. If there's somebody who's passionate, because I don't know enough airlines. I've only flown like 3. But I'd be really curious if somebody's flown a lot of airlines to get a ranked list of them.
This is your chance.
Yeah, I would love it if your dad did an airline ranking list. All right, so we're going to split this into 2 videos. We're going to do one of just random lists and one of anime-specific lists. We're starting with random because that was the one you seemed to want to do.
Hold up. I have to address something that I think we should do moving forward. Not enough promotion of my Twitter or my YouTube channel, which I'm planning on making more videos for.
All right.
So,
@ I'm super cute.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter and sub to Pantsuit Party. Well, yeah, I'm probably going to use Pantsuit Party.
Yeah, you're not going to use Corrupting Your Kids?
Corrupting Your Kids, it's corrupting your kids.
Okay. Well, sub to Pantsuit Party. I'll put a link in the description. So anyway, we're doing a tier list of video game controllers first, because that's the first one I had.
This one, I saw the picture for this one and got really excited.
So first of all, did you play much Wii U Gamepad?
I've played a little.
I personally really like the Wii U Gamepad. I will say that it does have... It's a little awkward, particularly for the thumbstick placement, and trying to switch from the thumbsticks to the buttons is a little weird. But I think the shoulder buttons rest really comfortably. I just like holding it, and I mean, all the advantages of the touchscreen. I feel like it was a major loss for us to lose that. Being able to, manage your menus in Zelda through that screen totally made the whole Zelda experience just better. Like, it felt like something that should be a permanent addition to Zelda, and now it's gone. So that was frustrating.
I have a little bit of a personal complaint with the Wii U controller.
Mm-hmm.
I've only had the chance to play it on other people's gamepads, and they're always gunky and disgusting. I feel like just...
The screen does get fucked up pretty easily.
Yeah, just the way it's shaped and everything about it, it just, it gets gross.
Yeah, it's a good complaint. I mean, I personally would give it an A. I don't know. What do you think from what little you've played?
Probably a B. I do like it, but there are improvements that can be made to it. I do think it's very interesting and helps a lot of games. But there's a lot of games that it doesn't make sense for too.
Well, since I have the mouse, I'm putting it in A for now, and we'll figure out how we feel as we go along.
I know you're passionate about that controller in particular. The
Wii U Pro controller is pretty good. It's a pretty comfortable in the hands controller. Again, I think the buttons are kind of awkwardly off to the side, but I mean, it's good. It's as good as I would expect a Pro controller to be. I'd put it in A.
I'd also put it in A. I'd prefer to use the Pro controller.
The Switch.
I don't like them.
I hate these fucking things.
Yeah.
First of all, the idea to put the right thumbstick in a place where it is just unusable is baffling to me. And, when you have to use... Okay, if you have to use a single Joy-Con as a controller, and you're stuck with the right one, just don't. Just don't even bother.
Nope.
Fuck it. It's not worth it. It's so fucking uncomfortable. They weigh nothing. They somehow cost a fortune. They just feel like cheap, shitty toys in the hand. I mean, obviously the fact that they have certain capabilities is a plus, the motion capabilities, but I mean, I feel like the Wiimote was a better fucking design than this thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna put it in D.
Me too.
I don't like them at all.
No bueno.
It's probably the biggest reason I haven't bought a Switch. I don't know what this thing is. Is this just a Switch, I don't know exactly what Switch controller this is. So I'm going to put it in D as well. This looks like it's the Switch Pro controller. They've moved to the lower right thumbstick like an Xbox 360 controller. I haven't used this thing, so I'm just going to abstain from voting on it, I guess. Atari joystick.
Dog shit.
Yeah.
It's dog shit.
I mean, we have one of those Atari all-in-one things, and I'm sure that those controllers are worse than they were on the original game, but it is so unresponsive and bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is stiff and awkward,
There's
and
a
the button is in a weird place.
Controllers have evolved
Definitely
in a
not
completely
good.
different direction. They don't have, the racing game controller.
I think this must be a Sega Mega Drive controller. I've never actually seen one, I'm realizing.
Wait.
It's got to be what it is, right? It's just two buttons and a joystick, and it's right before the Genesis, so I feel like it must be a Mega Drive controller.
Maybe.
Did you even know they had a console before the Genesis? Because I get confused. Or is it... Yeah, I think it was the Mega Drive was the first one.
Dude, I have no idea.
I'm not going to rank it because I've never used one. Genesis controller. I know there's some people who, if you grew up with a Genesis, you probably love this thing. Tom
Fucking
Oliver loves it. On the little experience I've had, the buttons get stuck down really easy, and just 3 in a row is confusing. It's like you have to really reach across to get to them. I don't think it's very comfortable. I would give it a C personally. but I also have no Genesis nostalgia, so, you know, I've never used this guy with the 6 buttons.
What is that?
I think it must be a Saturn controller or something.
That's probably what it is.
Then we have the Dreamcast controller. This thing is such a fucking bulky ass motherfucker.
It's a fat boy.
You definitely don't want to have to reach down to that D-pad. I think it only has 2 triggers. It doesn't have double R and Ls, which is a problem. And all the other new gen games were gonna have that. And the fucking
it's
little
ugly as sin.
It is ugly as sin as well. The start button is way the hell down at the bottom. It does have the little Tamagotchi save thing, which, I mean, just weighs down your controller. Yep. It's just not a great design. No. I'd give it a C. Next up, we have the classic NES controller.
It's solid.
The thing is, it doesn't fit in your hand. It's too small for adult hands. If you are a child playing it, it's fine.
Or
but
if
whenever
you have
I hold it,
lady fingers.
I'm just like, this thing is so fucking tiny, and the buttons are kind of sticky too. I think I'd probably put it above the Genesis. Well, I mean, the Genesis controller has the form factor at least, that it's comfortable in the hand. But then again, this is from a generation before that, so I don't know.
I'd give it a B. I like the controller.
I guess it's fine.
It makes sense to me.
The Xbox controller. Having both joysticks be low was not a good idea. I think they were just trying to be different.
Oh boy.
It was a big fucking clunky controller. The black and white buttons were awkward to reach. You know, I would give it a B. It's serviceable, but it's a bit much. Then we finally get to what I consider to be the standard controller. Mm-hmm. The Xbox 360 controller, very comfortable in the hands. The triggers feel amazing.
It's just right.
Yeah, the thing is that even though the right stick is lower, it's not really that much lower. It is lower than the other one. The biggest problem with this one is the D-pad. The D-pad is fucking dog shit. And apparently that has to do with some kind of patenting issues with D-pads. That Nintendo's the only one who can make the cross D-pad. That's why the other guys do something different. But they just went in a really bad direction with it. And I do use the D-pad for fighting games, for 2D side-scrollers. I tend to use it. Not that there's a lot of those on the 360, but this is what I also use for computers, because it interfaces with computers really easily, which alone makes it S tier to me. The fact that you can just plug it into any PC and go.
It's fucking great.
You will never want to be without it. I love that it has the thin inner back that just makes it really comfortable to hold. Great controller. I have not played an Xbox One, so I have no opinion of that controller.
It's not as good.
PS1 controller, very comfortable. The triggers are kind of awkward. I think it took them till like the PS3 or 4. Really, the PS4 is where they finally got the form factor on this thing just right. But D-pad is fine. It's usually kind of sticky. I don't know. I'd give it a B. It was a good prototype for what was to come. PS2 controller improved on it in a lot of ways. It feels better in the hands. It's nice and weighty.
Feels very familiar.
The thumbsticks are a little bit. They can start to grind on your joints after a while, because if you're playing like a twin stick game, it can be a little much. But at least the D-pad works decently. It's another one that gets sticky really easily. But I don't know. I feel like there needs to be. I'm starting to feel like I want another tier in this list to put this between B and A. But I think
I'd give it a B.
I guess we'll give it a B. PS3, basically the exact same controller as PS2. Not much changed. It's fully wireless now. Like by default, it's not as sticky. I think I'd be willing to kick it up to an A just because it smoothed out the problems with the PS2 controller. And the Ps4 controller I honestly love. I love a lot of things about it. First of all, I love the grooves in the thumbsticks, which makes them very easy to do precise movement. They feel really tight. They are less exhausting than the former like outward popping design. The buttons feel great. The little trackpad is interesting. I will say I hate the share button, because and the capture button because I press it on accident all the time. But one of my favorite things about it is actually the motion sensor. Like if you want to type on the PS4 and you break out the motion sensor, it's way smoother. So I'm putting it in S tier. I love my PS4 controller. I don't even know what the fuck this thing is. It looks like a Wonder Swan or something.
Like a boomerang.
I don't know. Like I've seen it before, but I don't know what it is. Wait, I thought we did NES. What the hell is this if it's not an NES controller? Maybe I fucked up. It looks just like... Maybe it's an old Atari controller or something?
Ooh, yeah. It probably is.
Let's go ahead and put the NES right alongside it, I guess.
Put that shit down.
Yeah, put this one down just because we didn't know what it was.
All right. It's wrong.
All right, the NES guy goes up there. Super Nintendo controller is pretty good. Having LR and XY was a pretty big advancement at the time. I've played a bunch of Super Nintendo with my friends. I generally like it. I'd give it an A.
Works for all the games.
This is the souped up Super Nintendo controller, I guess. It's pretty much the same. I don't know what the difference is. N64 controller. You know, I grew up with this thing.
Me too.
But it's a fucking nightmare.
It's so bad. What were they thinking?
Like, the Z button and R button is already somewhat confusing. The fact of the matter is you can't use the D-pad and L button.
This controller was made for Siamese twins.
It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And it had the C pad was a terrible idea. 6 buttons instead of 2 joysticks. They were not really using foresight at all. I would give it a C. The GameCube controller is absolutely perfect. I
love it.
Absolutely love it. The pressure sensitive L and R buttons. They probably should have not just had the Z button, but also had a Y button on the other side or something. Well, not a Y because they already have that, but a second shoulder button. But I find this controller extremely comfortable. I love the button layout. I love that all the buttons are easily reachable without moving your thumb very far. It makes button combinations a lot easier. The biggest problem with this one is that the C stick is a bad second thumbstick. Instead of making a thin stick, they should have just given it a second stick. Like, what difference does it make? Why not just give it a second stick? I don't know if they just wanted it to be something you flick or what. It's definitely the biggest mark against the GameCube controller. It's difficult for me to decide if it's an S or an A because of that. Because it is so comfortable. Like, it's my favorite one to hold. It feels the most... And they're like, borderline indestructible.
Yeah,
as well.
That's true.
So, I don't know. What do you think? S or A?
I would personally give it an A, but I
fair.
See the argument for an S.
That's fair. Wiimotes. I always hated this fucking thing. I mean, I hated playing motion sensor games. I hate the whole 2 hands separate thing. Like, my brother Victor loves it because he sees it as like, oh, you can just lay back and be comfortable. But, like, that turns my brain off. Like, I don't feel engaged if I'm not holding something in the center. It focuses my concentration.
Bar was dog shit. Always fucking falling over.
I hate that the 1 and 2 buttons are so low on the controller that you have to take your hand off of it to press them. It's just the controller only made sense for the Wii's gimmick, and not enough games were built around that gimmick or used it well, or the ones that did sucked because it was just like, as a gamer, you want to play, normal video games alongside your weird gimmick shit. A lot of the peripherals
really sucked, like the wheel and the gun.
So I think I admire the effort. I admire that it can do something different. I don't know if I'd put it in a B or a C. I'm tending towards C because I hated it so much.
I'd put it in a C. I mean, most games are impossible to play with it.
And the Wii Pro controller also, it's a big wood block. I don't think it was that great of a controller.
GameCube.
I'd give it a C as well. Not ranking. I haven't played it with any of these controllers, so I'm not ranking them. There you go. Pretty much. Xbox 360 and PS4 controllers are the GOAT. The controller
would probably get a strong B to an A from me.
Yeah, have you played with it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not as good as the 360 controller in your opinion?
No, not in my opinion.
All right, well, you heard it here. There's our video game controllers. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Social media tier listing.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
4chan. S tier. 4chan is the only social media site I have consistently used for as long as I've known about it. Because what's great about 4chan is that you can browse at your own volition and pace. Like, you don't have to go to the feed. Like, I use catalog mode. So I just look for a thread that interests me. It's not me reading through every single thread looking for something that I want to read. It's me just browsing a bunch of images, seeing something relevant to my interests. And then, here's just a pro tip for using 4chan. Only read the posts that have images.
No shit.
Anybody who's putting effort into their post will post an image with it. Only read posts that have images. Just don't read anything that's just text. Unless it's like a discussion that you're, interested in. Or like a pasta or something longer. But if it's just one line, just don't even bother. Just read the image posts. That's what the board is for. It's an image board. Stick to A. A is probably the best board. Mew is kind of shit at this point. It's good for recommendation charts. Like, one of my favorite things about 4chan is just going to each board and collecting all their recommendation charts because they know everything. Like, anything that anybody likes is cataloged on 4chan. So, like, if you're looking for recommendations, you can't go to a better place.
What about V?
I've only ever gone there for the recommendation threads. I don't keep up with gaming enough.
V is sometimes fun to go on, but, like, I'm not a big gamer.
I feel like V and A are both great boards for like, if you want to talk to somebody who, like, someone on there will know anything.
Anything you need to know.
Anything you need to know, someone will know it. You could talk about the most obscure old game, the most obscure old anime, people will be able to talk to you about it.
I'm also fascinated by Biz and Fit. I feel like they often have, like, interesting threads going on.
Biz is apparently a big, a bustling place now because of cryptos.
Pull is fun if you're really bored.
Pull is fun if you want to watch the world burn.
Which I always do.
4chan is on here twice, by the way.
I know, I saw that.
Is it the safe for work and the not safe for work? We'll put them both in there.
Double 4chan.
All right, Instagram. I have never gotten into Instagram. I just don't take many pictures. I've never been much of a pictures guy. I'd rather just record a clip of something. My family uses Instagram. Victor takes really glorious Instagram pictures when he does. My dad just takes films of the sunset or sunrise while he's running. It's just never been interesting enough. I don't follow any celebrities because I would rather hear people talk than see pictures. So what do you? I'm letting you do this one.
Instagram is probably the most destructive and cancerous of all of the social media forms. Just the way that it has changed the way people think of their identities and the constant comparison. And there's so many normies who just sink all of their time and energy into fucking Instagram. I was on a plane once, and it was a 2-hour plane ride, and the lady in front of me was just scrolling infinitely through her Instagram for the entire duration of the flight.
That's
insane.
And
it made me feel sick inside. And what can you really do with a picture? And also, Instagram's owned by fucking Facebook. Fuck that.
Right. So are we agreeing it's a D tier social media?
Instagram's for the fucking normies.
D tier?
Yeah.
All right.
And the occasional Michelle.
Why is everything in here twice? I swear to God.
Right? I think they just fucked up.
All right, Pinterest.
Pinterest is a superior Instagram.
So, Pinterest is just, listicles, not listicles, infographics. Infographics and, just random...
And any kind of, how-to or, recipe you can imagine, and you can, if you have interesting people, you're curious about, what they're doing, you can, keep up with them through Pinterest.
I've never really, I haven't gotten enough into Pinterest to understand it, because it's one of those sites that requires you to have an account to interact with it.
Yeah.
And I didn't for a long time, so I just never understood what it was, because I didn't want to make an account before knowing what it was. Now that I have an account, all Pinterest is once a week I get an email about monkey bread. And I don't know why. I've never had monkey bread. they just send me emails about monkey bread. So as far as I know, Pinterest is just monkey bread. So where would you rank it?
I would give it a B. I mean,
right.
You can't really do that much with Pinterest, but there's a lot of things you can learn on there. It's kind of an easy way to save your recipes or just like workout routines. There's something interesting to find. You can pretty much scroll infinitely and feel like you're doing something more constructive than Snapchat, or not Snapchat, Instagram. I don't even remember what it's called.
All right, so here's one. This is an interesting one.
Oh no, I fucking hate
Reddit. Well, here's the thing. Reddit in theory
would be great.
Reddit in practice,
it's a circle jerk.
Like, okay, what I like about Reddit is, first of all, there's endless subreddits. Anything you can think of, there's a subreddit for it. And in general, these subreddits will congregate a strong base of knowledge and put it in the sidebar. So, like, Reddit's sidebars are great. If you want to, say, learn about fitness, you go to a fitness subreddit, they have a huge amount of guides, all casually written. It's, like, easy to get into something you want to get into. They usually will give you, like, a list of, you know, other reading. They'll give you lists of other subreddits. They'll give you, like, all kinds of information.
Or
and
you could just go on 4chan.
Yeah, but 4chan's going to misguide you on purpose a lot.
Good.
Like, if you just want to actually get information, Reddit's a good place to go. And it's all right there. You don't have to sit there and lurk to get it. The problem with Reddit is the actual posting on Reddit.
Yeah.
Because every Reddit board is a constant influx of new people, and they're all going to ask the same fucking questions. They're going to complain. Like, any subreddit of a video game, for instance, it starts off as everybody's discovering things, we're pooling all this knowledge, it's exciting, and then eventually the sidebar has all that knowledge, and then it's just complaining and fan art, and that's it.
Yep.
And I get immediately sick of it, and I leave the subreddit. So, like, I just don't think it's good at fostering communities that are actually fun to be a part of.
Too many karma whores.
Oh, and also, like, once a taste has been established, you can't go against it because of the karma whoring. Because it's like, let's say that you have an opinion that only 40% of the people on your board have, well, you're going to have majority downvotes every time you express that opinion because people are downvoting you for your opinion because nobody uses the karma system to upvote the strength of your writing or your point. They just knee-jerk react to your opinion.
Yeah, they just want
and
validation of their own opinion.
That's why, like, for instance, r/anime will literally, like, develop what seems like uniform opinions, and even though there's tons of people on the site who disagree with those opinions, those people feel like they are in this incredible minority because they get downvoted so much, because the other side gets upvoted. So the upvote downvote system, it democratizes things in the wrong way. It's like whatever is the popular opinion is by just the margin of, you know, having the majority is always going to rise to the top, and it means everybody else is shit out of luck and feels like they don't fit in. And that's why they end up splintering and forming all these different fucking subreddits, because they feel like they're the minority on the one they're in.
Yeah.
And it just goes on and on forever. So yeah, I would ultimately give it a B.
You'd give it a B? I'd give Reddit a C.
I just think that
I really hate the culture of
when
Reddit.
I want to learn something, I think it's a good place to go. Like, if I want to look into how to do something, like for instance, back when Terra first came out, I was heavy into the Reddit for Terra just to learn about different things, and I made a solo leveling guide on my blog, which ended up being in the sidebar. So, you know, I felt like this is kind of where I got the most. Yeah. I've also launched all of my channels through Reddit. Like, every YouTube channel I have launched through Reddit. So, like, I can't hate on them completely. And there is good discussion that happens on there, probably better than in most places. It's just, you gotta look for it, you know? And it's more structured than a 4chan discussion. So,
In my opinion, Reddit has gotten worse over the years, especially with like
I do think that's true.
Certain boards being
it's just like you can't ever follow a board for that long. Like I used to follow Today I Learned.
Oh my god, and they make you follow it, so you have to see it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's like one of the ones they
early on. I used to love it back in the day because I would learn interesting things. Itself. Yeah, it's the same people learning the same shit every time. You're just like, all right, well, this has completely gotten fucking old.
And it's terrible for political discussion.
Yeah,
absolutely terrible. Reddit is a cesspool.
Here, we'll just put one in C and one in B.
Reddit for C, for cesspool.
All right, Twitter. Twitter is the best and the worst that there is. Twitter, when it's good, is magnificent. It is the way I used to describe Twitter is that it's basically you announcing your desire to have a conversation, and anybody can respond who is interested in sharing that conversation. So you tweet out something like, hey, this thing I'm interested in, and say you have 10,000 followers and only 40 of them are interested in that thing, those 40 people can respond, you know? And that's what makes it great for me as somebody who has lots of opinions about a broad variety of things. It's not asking very much of people, and you pretty much inevitably just read all the tweets because it's so short, you know. The problem is that the culture that has been fostered through it is the most aggressive social media culture there is. Like, 4chan is laid back compared to Reddit.
Yeah.
Reddit is just angry fucking people screaming all the time. And everybody tries to pack as much impact into their tweet as possible, so it's all caps, claps in between words.
Oh god!
Fucking everything's shortened down to to a fucking slogan. You know, like everyone's just so angry, and none of it makes any fucking difference. Like it's just people screaming to their own crowd and getting their own people madder and madder, so they can scream at the other side. And neither side makes a single bit of difference to the other side. So, on the one hand, I feel like Twitter at its best, when it's like just a bunch of comedians, just a bunch of people making funny posts, is great. But because of all the cuck shit now, a lot of those comedians aren't allowed on Twitter. Where someone like Jesse got kicked off for threatening Twitter.
Yeah.
And now I don't have the hilarious Endless Jess tweets, you know? I used to have a lot of people I followed who were hilarious, and a lot of them are gone. So, like, if you had asked me in early 2017, which was the height of, like, everybody in the PCP was on Twitter, and we were all really into it, and it was fun, I would have given it, like, an A. And I've left Twitter, like, 5 or 6 times over the years. So right now we're in a period where I think Twitter fucking blows ass, and it's mostly just anger and aggression, and it makes me upset. So I'm giving it a C.
You're giving it a C. I'd give Twitter probably like an A, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, any kind of social
let's
media.
meet in the middle and give it a B.
Yeah, any kind of social media is going to like foster a toxic environment, and it's definitely gonna like circle jerking is kind of the nature of the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, it gives me everything I want out of interacting with others.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like way more valuable to me than Instagram, even though it does like the same kind of thing. And I don't know, I always like I go on Twitter and there's always like something new for me to see. I like it.
All right, YouTube. I have to give it S rank.
Yeah.
I can't not. I mean, it's all I like. All I consume is anime, Twitter, and YouTube. And Twitter just makes me angry. YouTube doesn't usually make me angry. I might be angry that there's not enough to watch, but that's kind of like a problem you want to have.
Yeah.
YouTube, the platform makes me pissed off because I work for it, and it causes lots of issues for me, but it also is my whole job. So, I mean, you know, it giveth, it taketh away.
Life.
What more can I say? Facebook, dog shit.
D for dog shit.
Absolute dog shit.
All of my notifications are just like people's birthdays. I'm like so inactive.
All of my notifications are Twitter trying to get me to pay attention to shit that has nothing to do with me because they just want me to use the fucking platform.
Yeah.
Because all I used Facebook for is Facebook Messenger because my family's on there and it's the easiest way to reach them. So I go on and it never shows me... Like, it never shows me anything in order. I can't even get it to show me things in order anymore. Sometimes it just won't show me anything. If I post on there, which I never do, it just syncs in people's feeds. Nobody sees it. Fucking, I mean, there's only like 3 people I haven't hidden. And my mom is pushing the limits with the political shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's getting to a point where even my own mom, it's like, God damn, like, do you have to post, like, really dramatic political shit every time I come on Facebook? Do you enjoy this? Like, would you want this?
Facebook is the worst. Facebook is cancer.
Yeah.
Did you hear Donald Trump was, like, angry about Facebook?
No, why?
Because, you know, they're... all the alt-right, quote-unquote alt-right people that they're, like, pushing off their platform, and they're like, oh, we're gonna do something new, we're gonna, like, make sure that it's a safe environment for everybody, we're gonna get these people off our platform, and Trump, like, I read it in the newspaper, he had said, like, I can't support a site that silences people like this.
I mean, like, did he not know that Facebook does
that?
They've been doing it for years.
It's just that Facebook keeps... you know, getting more and more attention. And just the fact that, like, if you're on Facebook, you know your fucking privacy has been compromised.
Oh, yeah.
And literally, like, every fucking millennial has a Facebook because, like, you need one in order to get a job, basically, at this point.
It's fucking disgusting. I hate Facebook.
Yeah.
Tumblr. I haven't been on in years, so I don't really know what it's like now.
They got rid of porn. Fuck that.
That's true. That was a big blow.
Fuck that libcup shit.
I loved Tumblr when it came out because it was the perfect size for personal blog. Like, I had a WordPress blog, and that, like, when you make a WordPress post, it's like you're writing an article. That's the way it feels, you know? The presentation of the website is such that it's meant to be like a website with articles. When you write on Twitter, you only have, you know, used to be 140, now 280 characters. Tumblr was like the perfect middle ground. It felt like just an activity feed of people talking about their personal lives, sharing just little things that interested them. But the culture of Tumblr became weirdly solidified in a way that no other social media site has. And I'm not just talking about, like, the social justice stuff. It was also... because what bothered me when I was on Tumblr was, first of all, constant reblogging. It was that most people's Tumblrs was just reblogging.
Nothing that they made.
And I follow people to hear what you have to say. And some people would just reblog everything that certain Tumblrs posted. And it's like, well, at this point, you just are their Tumblr. You know? Like, why are you doing this? And, like, someone like Tom Oliver, for instance, would reblog fucking constantly. And it's like, I want to follow your posts. But then he wants to put on all of his friends, and it's always this culture of, like, we have to all support each other. It's like, yeah, but if you scare away your audience, you're not helping anyone.
Or if they can't find your content on it because it's just oversaturated with things that you've reblogged.
And then there's the sycophantic / ego-driven aspect of people love to do the answer shit, where people will just answer questions all fucking day.
Disgusting.
And just fill the feed with that. But the thing that got to me the most was that it became very much about aesthetic. Because Tumblr it's super customizable, and everybody would want to have a Tumblr that... people treated their Tumblr the same way that they used to treat MySpace pages. That they tried to pack their entire personality into this page. And with MySpace, it was just a static page that you did that with. With Tumblr, it was every reblog you make is something that reinforces your identity. Mm-hmm. So people would just constantly reblog things that aesthetically resonate with them, which means gigantic walls of GIFs that I now have to scroll through.
Yeah.
So, like, in unfollowing all the people who would fall victim to this culture, I would just have nothing to read on Tumblr. And the stuff I posted didn't fit in with that culture because I was mostly using it as a mini blogging service. So, like, I feel like Tumblr had the potential to be one of the best social media services, but because of just the way it developed and how... and granted, it's not like everybody on the site was you know, participating in this. There was just porn Tumblrs and stuff like, you know... like, hipster black metal, or just be, like, posting cool black metal albums and stuff. Like, I liked that element of Tumblr, but it just fell by the wayside, and I don't think enough people are... I don't know what it's like now, but, yeah, I would have to give it...
My biggest complaint about Tumblr is it's, like, basically impossible to use from a mobile device, which is kind of, like, a big component of social media, in my opinion, because I'm somebody who often goes on the internet from my phone. I don't know. I've only ever used Tumblr, like, to look at porn, which is always a pain in the ass because you have to fucking scroll through things, and then if you're...
Their archiving is dog shit.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Dog shit. Searching through somebody's Tumblr, almost impossible. I can never find any fucking post from my own Tumblr unless I literally scroll through my whole fucking archive. I'm gonna give it a C. It's not as bad as Instagram or Facebook, but it's not... I'm not on there anymore.
Unusable tier.
What the hell is this? Is this just a text messages?
Is this Hangouts or something?
I think it's just text messenger, like a generic phone text messenger, right? Is it just texting? Is it? Can
we pretend it's Kick?
Kick? Is it Kick? Well, it's not Kick because it doesn't say Kick.
I know.
I think it's just a generic texting. I think it's just meant to be you texting your friends.
This is not social media.
Yeah, I agree.
Get the fuck out of here.
Let's put it in D because it's retarded. Discord. I think it's pretty great. I think it's a great chat client. The server system was a genius idea because Skype groups sucked.
Yes.
Skype itself was an unwieldy
you're bringing me back to the Stone Ages.
I don't even miss video call because I never did it. And it was always shit.
The video call was only created to ruin long-distance relationships.
Yes, that is exactly true. I love the way Discord calls work, that you just jump in and out of them. It's not like a whole... You're not just calling a specific person. You're like... You're joining an instance of a call. It just works a lot better. It's very lightweight comparatively. Not that it's totally lightweight, but... yeah, I think it's a pretty good system. I will say that I don't really participate in a lot of servers, and I think that Discord servers, they worry me a lot, because that's clearly where most people are now. Mm-hmm. And if you want to talk about something that, the same way that Gen Xers didn't understand the internet until Facebook, they have no clue about Discord.
No.
If you're younger than, or if you're older than a millennial, you don't know about this world. And this is changing the world.
Yeah.
If you don't know about Discord,
this is where most
you don't know what's
going on.
Right.
This is where your kids are after school.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time before Discord had come out, one of my dad's coworkers had asked me, where are all the kids now? What's the big website? And I said, it's Skype. And he just seemed to not get it and be like, oh, that's not what I meant. And I'm like, no, it's exactly what you meant. Everyone is now in close-knit clicks.
People are not on the surface web anymore.
No, because the surface web's fucking sucks, and it's all just anger and fighting.
And you run to those people so you can be, comforted by them.
I mean, that's what the internet originally was for. That was what it was like back in the day, was you came to the internet to find a like-minded group, usually on a forum. But the thing about forums is that anybody could usually join unless you made it private, and then nobody could find it. With Discord, there's more of a democratic system. It's not just there's usually mods and stuff of Discords, and I'm sure a lot of that old forum drama happens, but I don't know, I think it's a better system than forums were for this kind of thing. My biggest problem with it is that because it's a chat system, yes, everything is archived, but you gotta really scroll, or search.
It's never worth it.
After a long conversation has happened, if you come into your channel that you check, you're like, oh my god, It used to be like that with the PCP. I'd come to the computer and there'd be 500 messages, and I'd have to read all of them.
You're expected to be up to date with your friends.
But I don't know. I think I'd put it in A tier. I have problems with it, and I think that it will develop even more problems as time goes on.
You must construct additional pylons.
That's annoying as shit. But generally, I like it.
Oh boy.
And Twitch, I literally don't use it except to stream myself. I don't watch any streams. I don't participate in any chats. I don't know much about it. I don't even really get the appeal of streams that much. I guess I get what's in it for the people who participate, but it doesn't do much for me.
No,
It's if you're in a big enough stream to be exciting, then the chat is too fast for you to be heard. And so it's I'd rather just watch this as a video, I'm not getting anything out of the interaction.
They can't wait around for new YouTube videos. They constantly need to hear someone's voice. They want to feel a part of somebody's narrative. They want to see progress being made. They really only care about a particular video game or just video games in general. It has its
or
crowd.
Hot girls.
Yeah, it's true.
I'd give it a B.
Yeah, me too.
There you go. There's a social media tier list. 4chan and YouTube, most of our. It's the only two websites that I go to all the time and don't usually piss me off.
Ranking.
Like, if I go to any of the other ones, so like Discord, I probably won't get pissed off because I just read my own Discord where people generally like me, which is I think what most people are doing on Discord. So not gonna be pissed off that often, but sometimes I'll get really pissed off. The other ones.
Have you ever gotten pissed off on Pinterest?
No, but I've never figured out how the fuck to use Pinterest. I've gotten pissed off trying to figure out what the hell Pinterest is. All right, that's it for that one. 2000s childhood snacks.
Oh my, this is great.
All right,
oh my god.
I have a stipulation for this one. We have to judge this not on the basis of how we feel now, but on the basis of how we felt then.
Yes.
Because fruit roll-ups are disgusting. They're not filling. They taste like they taste like just chemicals.
I mean, all of this is chemicals.
But I liked them as a kid.
Me too. I loved fruit roll-ups. They were always like, if I had that in my lunch pail, I was like, this is a good day.
Yeah.
God has shown
his
light upon me today.
I was never a huge fan of fruit roll-ups because I was a way bigger fan of Fruit by the Foot. And I thought Fruit by the Foot...
My parents never let me have Fruit by the Foot because it was like too much.
Fruit roll-ups is the same thing! It's just in a strip form instead of in a sheet form.
I don't know. It was always fruit roll-ups. Maybe it was just what was on sale at the grocery store, but like I usually got fruit roll-ups.
I mean, a lot of the kids I knew did. I mean, because it is just a sheet.
But like that made me like Fruit by the Foot more, because it's like it was even more of a rare occasion.
Fruit by the Foot was fun. You could fling that shit out. You could.
Oh my god!
Unfurl it.
But fruit roll-ups had like the tongue tattoos, but they were always dog shit.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it was never anything. Like I think they had Pokemon ones every once in a while, but like I mean, it's a tattoo that washes off in 5 seconds. I just didn't like the taste of them as much because it was like thick and it would get stuck in my teeth.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm like.
Personally, I would put it in like B tier.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not like I liked it enough to eat it, but it was not my favorite.
It definitely had downsides. Oh my god, Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts, I feel like S tier. Oh,
Pop-Tarts were essential.
So reliable. Like, if you had, like, Pop-Tarts, the best thing about them is that there's 2 in the pack. 2 is enough. You don't need to eat more than 2. You don't always need 2. Sometimes you eat 1. Save the other one for later. It's not going to go bad. It's made of preservatives. I still eat Pop-Tarts to this day. Not often, but when they're around, if I'm going to take a long trip, it's a good snack to have on hand. The
worst is when somebody is preparing a Pop-Tart for you and they read the directions on it and put it in the microwave and you're like, you just ruined this.
Yeah,
you ruined my moment of happiness.
Yeah, or toaster.
Yeah, the toaster
I do not eat them heated at all.
No.
Not a fan. What are your top 3 Pop-Tart flavors?
Cinnamon brown sugar, the wild berry. I like blueberry too.
I was just gonna say blueberry, but then you reminded me of wild berry.
Wild berry is a fucking vaporwave. It's
vaporwave.
So good.
Prepackaged vaporwave.
Oh my god, I love all those flavors.
All right, Go-Gurt. I'm putting it A tier.
I love Go-Gurt, but it's like nothing.
There's 2 problems with Go-Gurt. One, even as a kid, it was too little.
The thing is, I still I've eaten Go-Gurt recently. Like, remember when
they still taste good.
When we were back in Rochester, I would get that as a before work snack because it's 90 calories and it's fun and easy to eat. It's cleaner than yogurt. You're not gonna get it on yourself.
Well, because you can roll it up at the end and get every single drop.
And oh my god, they've had SpongeBob on the box for a decade. Yeah. But SpongeBob is delightful.
My 2 problems: 1, too little. 2, that shit, the fucking mouth of it will cut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Doesn't it cut the sides of your fucking mouth?
It doesn't cut my mouth, but it definitely feels wrong.
The place where my lips meet, if it scratches that part, it would cut my fucking mouth. But yeah, I give it an A. It's good.
Oh my god, Lunchables.
So they have different brands of Lunchables.
Oh, good.
Here. I think this is
the chicken nuggets, right? Or is it nachos?
It looks like I can't fucking read it. I think it's nachos. I think those ones suck.
Those suck.
D. Fuck that. Grips.
I don't like Grips.
I don't think I ever
They're
had
like
them.
really tiny, like
Is it
it's
just
like
like a snack
hand
pack?
size. Yeah, they have like Cheez-It Grips.
There's nothing exciting about that.
No.
That goes in C tier. I mean,
Oh
those
my
are all
God.
things you'd rather just eat out of the box.
Bagel Bites.
Okay, I
Oh
don't
my
like
God.
Bagel Bites.
I don't like them now, but as a kid, I was so excited to eat them.
Okay, as a kid, I was excited to get them, but they fucking never cooked evenly.
No.
It was fucking like Russian roulette eating the goddamn Bagel Bites.
You either burn your mouth or it's like cold
If
all
it's
the way
cold,
through.
you want to vomit. Like, I can't count how many Bagel Bites I would, like, put in my mouth,
I would always
start to bite down,
taste-
and then
I would
take out and
finger
throw
them.
away.
Like, I would touch them.
I think I
make sure
did that
they're right.
eventually, but, like...
And my parents would always give them to me, like, they'd always cook them in the oven. So
Even if they were
always
lukewarm,
thoroughly
they were
cooked.
fucking disgusting. Oh, you had the fucking oven cooking.
Yeah,
See,
my parents loved me a little bit more than
lazy
you.
as shit. They're not gonna fucking oven cook that shit, and I didn't know how to use the oven. There was a time, because Shade, for like 10 years, ate almost exclusively Bagel Bites.
That's what's wrong with that kid.
And he, I think he started oven cooking them.
Self-induced autism.
They are better in the oven. I mean, if I'm going by my kid self, I'm going to give them a B. I mean, I think as a kid, I would have given them an A, but, like, I, through hindsight, know that my child self was more disappointed.
Even as a kid, I would never want to eat them for dinner.
I mean, that was the only way I ever ate them was for dinner.
They would only be, like, an after-school snack, and, like, I mean, I was excited to eat them because they were, like, a special treat, but, like, you know... They're not as good as eating pizza. I give it a B. All
right. I think we're in agreement. Okay, so this is like Hostess brownies. I
can't
think.
Eat that, so you have to do it.
I never had. Well, no, I did. I don't like these brownies. There's other Hostess snacks that are not here that I would have put in high. If we had Ho-Hos in the list, that would have been S tier for me.
I
Moon
never,
pies
as
would
a
be
kid,
S-tier.
never got to eat any of that because like my parents were like, you can't eat anything that's like close to nuts at all. So.
Yeah.
Those are a big no-no.
Ho-Hos, Twinkies, Moon Pies, Zebra Cakes, those would all have been S tier for me. But none of them in the list. I don't know why. So, yeah, brownies, that's going in D. It's the worst of those, of that group.
Is
Oreos.
that double stuff? Is it double stuff Oreo?
I can't tell.
I think it's something because it has like a. Let's go with double stuff, okay? Because that's the best kind, right?
I never liked Oreos.
I fucking love Oreos. I can eat a whole row. I can't stop myself, even as an adult.
Like, I will eat, like,
an
Oreo and be like, huh, that's all right.
I love Oreo-flavored things.
Okay.
I love Oreo
Here's
ice
the thing.
cream.
And this is gonna make a lot of people unsubscribe. I don't like the cream. I like the crackers.
What the fuck is wrong
I don't
with
like
you?
the cream. But the thing is, I don't like the crackers without the cream. To me,
the crackers are dog shit.
The Oreos are only good to me when they are, like, mashed into ice cream. Like, they're delicious because it's better than just chocolate. You know, it's like it's the best way to get like a chocolatey taste in your ice cream.
Way better than just like chocolate chips or something.
But I just don't like the taste of the cream.
Oreos are great. I'm gonna
They're
give
better
them an
dipped
A.
in milk. I'll do it just for your sake and the fact that I know that a lot of I'm sure part of it for me growing up was also that they were so popular.
What would you honestly give it?
Oh, as a kid, I would have given it a D. I hated them.
You hated them?
I did not eat Oreos. Part of it was a fuck the normies kind of thing as well.
We have to, you know, bring the score down.
All right, we'll make it a B then.
Okay, that seems right because like we don't agree.
I mean, I will eat them now more than I would as a kid. You know.
Yeah, because they're like one of the few foods on this list that fucking holds up. It's like it's still an Oreo.
Okay, so this one's difficult because Uncrustables are after my time. That is Zoomer shit.
No, me too. My little brother is in love with Uncrustables, but like I had one recently.
I have had one. And I was like, I am too old for this. Like, I think I would have liked this as a kid because I loved PB&J. But like, it's just expensive PB&J. Like, you could just go make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and not pay $5 for a box of Uncrustables that comes with like what 2. So
I don't know. I don't know what the appeal is. Don't you like heat them up? Isn't it because it's like warm?
I don't even know.
I don't remember.
Well,
they didn't really leave that much of an impression.
We're gonna have to put this in D tier because we don't know shit.
Sorry, Adam.
We didn't experience it as kids. So this is Ritz with the cheese dip.
Yes.
I don't remember being much of a fan of the Ritz cheese dip. If I wanted to get the crackers and dip, I would get the pretzel sticks or just those weird white sticks, you know?
Yeah.
I was just sticks and cheese, not Ritz and cheese.
I wasn't that into it. I'd give it like a C. Because I would still eat them. Like, I'd get them, but... Yeah. Oh my god, Gushers.
Gushers, I would throw the...
Yes!
Okay, Gushers were the most fun. I played war games with my Gushers. Like, my Gushers would always have extensive battles with each other because you can make them die because they have goo that shoots out.
Yeah.
So I would always have, like, you know, I'd have them, like, shooting guns at each other, and one would get hit, and then I'd tear it open and be like, you know, like, they fucking, you can stab them and tear them apart. They're fun to play with. They taste good. They get stuck in your teeth, but you don't even care because it tastes good in your teeth. There was a point where I got to an age where I had to eat 3 packs in order to be satisfied, and that was when I realized I couldn't do Gushers anymore. But we're judging this on Kid Self. I'm putting it S tier.
Hell yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck this shit is.
Oh, those suck. Give that a D.
Yeah,
they're shitty Oreos.
It looks like something I wouldn't eat. Oh,
pudding!
Ooh, pudding snack packs.
Oh, those are good.
If we're talking about the chocolate vanilla swirl, I still eat those. So. Well, it shows both the chocolate and the vanilla.
Maybe it's both. Maybe it's just whatever your favorite flavor
I don't know if I have this brand.
No, I'd always get the Jell-O ones.
Yeah, I always got Jell-O too, and I can't tell if this. Let's just say that this is all pudding since there's no other option on here. I love pudding. Pudding cups are the shit. I still eat them.
Yeah.
I'm giving it an S. Absolute S. All right. Danimals, my family, too expensive.
Oh, you never had Danimals?
Never had Danimals, because we just got Go-Gurt.
Oh, we'd have Danimals and Go-Gurt. Danimal has more bang for your buck.
Yeah?
You know those probiotic, like, yogurt drinks?
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like that, but with, like, really sugary yogurt.
Well, you're just going to have to score it for me. They literally were too expensive.
They weren't as fun to eat as Go-Gurt, but, like, it's just as much. And, like, honestly, the yogurt is, like, it's not as good, though.
Well, then it's worse.
Yeah.
So, what, B or C?
I'd eat them a lot, but, like, I always liked Go-Gurt more, so I'm going to give it a C.
All right. Good. I'm glad I didn't miss out on anything. Fruit by the Foot, if we're judging by my child self, probably my favorite. I would put it at the S. I was a huge fan. First of all, very fun to play with. You can throw them. You can whip them around. You could either eat it piece by piece at whatever pace you wanted. You could put a whole fucking ball in your mouth and just let it ooze and goo through your fucking throat.
My God.
Then your whole mouth would be fucking disgusting for hours
And our
afterwards.
parents wonder why we have so many cavities.
Right?
It's literally because we are eating Chemical X.
Like, all the flavors were good. They were all just tie-dye, so they
syrup.
they were indistinguishable.
Yes.
There would be, you know, like mazes and shit along the wrapper. Like, you could read stuff if you're a nerd like me. I fucking love Fruit by the Foot.
Fruit by the Foot is god tier.
Can't eat it as an adult at all.
No.
But Scooby-Doo gummies. Can this just be any character gummies?
Yeah, any kind of fruit snack.
As a kid, I wasn't as into character gummies. I like them more now. Like, I'll get the Nintendo ones and just throw back, like, the whole box in a day.
I mean, honestly, the Welch's gummies are a million times better than, like, the character ones. I would rather have a Gushers or a Fruit by the Foot if it's going to be, like, pure sugar.
I think the Scooby-Doo one is, like, iconic, but I hated Scooby-Doo all growing up. I was never a fan.
I didn't like them. Like, I wouldn't really... They'd be, like, one of my least favorite things, and probably a C.
All right. Kid cuisines.
Oh my God.
Boy. Okay.
I used to fucking get so excited for kids' cuisine.
All right, look.
Used to throw down.
When I was a kid, most nights, my dad worked till 9. My mom hated cooking. We ate kid cuisines almost every night for dinner for years. That was most of what we ate. And there's only a few kinds that are any good. You gotta get the chicken nuggets or like
the chicken nuggets with the corn is the only one I ever had.
But the thing is, because the chicken nuggets is the main one you would get. It has corn and a brownie next to each other. And if one corn gets in that brownie, it is
all the
fucking
time.
inedible. It is inedible. If you get one corn in the brownie, one. I don't understand! How does it fuck with the fucking working of the brownie so bad?
Corn is, like, really low quality. It's, like, worse than canned corn. So, like, it'll just seep into the brownie.
When me and my brothers were kids, we would not let our food touch. We got really finicky about it.
It's because of this.
It's because of this.
It's because of that.
Because legitimately, the corn made the brownie disgusting.
Yeah. It's because, like, canned vegetables and, like, really, like, preserved vegetables, like, are soaked in... you know, in themselves or in some kind of, like, salty juice. And, like, if it gets on other things, it will seep into it. And with the brownie, it just ruins it.
I think I definitely liked kid cuisines as a kid, but they never cooked the same way twice. They were another one where, like, some elements would be hot and other elements would be cold. You'd have, like, the stupid applesauce, which nobody likes warm applesauce, and then it would just be an icy brick in the middle.
I love warm applesauce, but not kids' cuisine applesauce.
Well, it would, like, you'd have, like, the chicken be cooked, and then the applesauce just be frozen.
I mean, like, homemade applesauce is warm. Like, if you've ever had it.
I don't know about you, but for me, it was never any going back. Like, once you've cooked it, you've cooked it. You can't re-cook it.
No, you can't.
Because, like, you've already pulled the plastic off before you found out that everything was fucked. I think kid cuisines are absolute dog shit. I think I cannot in good conscience give it above a D. It's probably
that was a sad
the worst
night.
thing about...
I mean, like...
That was every night!
Yeah, no, like, for my family, it was just, like, a night where my parents literally didn't have time to make dinner. But, like, it'd be an exciting thing. But it was, like, a sad event.
Alright, what the hell is this? Is this just a slushie? Is this just, like, a 7-Eleven slushie?
Yeah, it's a slush boy.
Is it a Slurpee? No. This is a...
Oh, is it like the one of the ice?
No, it's a yogurt cup. It's the multicolored yogurt cups.
Oh.
Those are all right. I wouldn't prefer them over like a Go-Gurt.
No. I'd rather have a Danimals.
I just never had like a flavor combination I particularly liked.
Oh boy.
I'd give it a C. What the fuck? Oh, circus animals. Ooh.
What is that?
It's the chocolate, or not chocolate, but like strawberry and vanilla coated animal crackers.
Oh, it's animal crackers with frosting?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like one of my favorite foods.
Yeah, that's like a S tier.
Oh my god.
Nobody doesn't like those.
Oh boy.
That's one of the like most agreeable things where it's like if you bought that for the family, everyone's gonna eat it.
Is that just that particular brand? Because the best ones are the ones that are in like the giant like bulk ones.
I don't know, I'm counting it as everything. But like the frosted animal crackers are the only reason we wouldn't get them all the time is because they are like $6 for a bag, and we would eat them in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants them, and everybody wants to eat them before somebody else eats them all. You know, Fruit Loop straws. I think that's a little after my time as well.
Those suck.
Yeah. I think I've had them and not liked them.
Bad invention.
So. All right. Next we have the ham and cheese cracker stacker Lunchables with the Oreo.
I'd get those a lot. I'd give it like a B.
I didn't like them. I'd probably give it a D, so we'll meet in the middle and give it a C.
Okay.
Because the only Lunchables I ever liked are the pizza Lunchables. I think all the other ones are bullshit. That one in
particular, it's just like, it didn't really feel like you were eating a lunch.
It's just bland. And yeah, you'd be done in like a couple minutes and be like, well, why did I eat? Like, that wasn't fun.
It has Oreos in it, so obviously you know why I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of kids liked it for that reason. Because the thing is that the one I always eat...
And you can make it yourself. You stack the crackers yourself, so it's like, that's still kind of fun.
They don't have the pepperoni pizza one in here, but I'm going to count this as representative of it since that's the best one. My favorite was that because it would have the Crunch Bar,
which is an underrated bar. It's so good.
And even the cheese pizza one I think came with Airheads, which I also like.
Yeah.
So, you always have the Hawaiian Punch. If we're talking about the ones with the pepperoni, S tier, because I still eat them.
Yeah, no, put that shit in S tier.
We literally will still go out and get
We haven't done it in a while.
Oh,
they just
Kool-Aid Jammers!
I hated those.
You don't like Kool-Aid Jammers?
Sick. I drink those.
Who cares if they make you feel sick? They're delicious.
Because I drank water as a kid. I did not like soda. I did not.
I literally don't think I consumed more than an ounce of water until I was 25.
I really only drank water. I don't like really sweet drinks.
All I drank growing up was sugar. I drank nothing but like Sprite and Kool-Aid. Like, that was my whole childhood. I love Jammers because you could twist off the top and then you just fucking squeeze that shit down your goddamn throat.
They were really fun. They had like weird Egyptian kind of like themed bottles. Like I don't know what was up with that, but like
I the only problem I have with them is the same one as the Go-Gurt, that they cut your fucking mouth. They would have the little, because when you tear off the plastic lit top thing, which never fucking was as loose as it's supposed to be, so you'd struggle to get that shit off, and it would leave plastic residue that fucking cuts your lips. But aside from that, I love them. So what would you rank them? A D? Because for me as a kid, it's like an A or an S.
I'd give it a C.
All right, we're gonna give it a B. We're gonna meet in the middle here. All right. Well, this looks great. This
makes me miss being a kid for like the first time ever. In
right?
My
This
life.
is the one thing I miss about childhood is being able to slam through gushers of fruit by the foot.
Stop being a pretentious asshole and being like, "Oh, kids' cuisine. This is dinner."
Oh, kid cuisine is disgusting.
I know. Like, I'll never feed our kids cuisine.
No, fuck that.
I will not torture them like that.
But like, I do miss having the like continence, the fortitude to eat like gushers and fruit snacks and Pop-Tarts more than once a fortnight. Well, not fortnight. It's only 2 weeks. Once a blue moon. All right. What's next here? Oh, God. The definitive soda.
I don't drink soda.
Oh, my God. You don't drink any of this?
I don't really like soda. Have you ever seen me drink a soda out of my own, like I might drink a Mountain Dew or a Sprite. That's it. Or Orange Crush, maybe.
I'll just have to burn through this as fast as possible.
Okay. I'm going to get something to drink.
Okay.
So.
All the 7-Ups that aren't original suck. 7-Up I liked as a kid, and then I discovered other drinks that were better and similar, so I'm giving it a C. I don't like root beer at all, so we're dropping all the root beers at the bottom. This is going to piss off everybody in the audience. Canada Dry, why would you drink that? That is old people shit. Vanilla Coke, not a fan. Coke with cherry, no. Is this regular Coke? I like regular Coca-Cola. I'm going to give that an A. Only drink it out of a can. It's the only appropriate way. I don't know what the fuck Coca-Cola Life is, but I don't trust like that. Lemon, no. Vanilla, no. Coke Zero, I'm only giving it a B, but this was what I was drinking for most of the time in Boston because I try to drink no-calorie drinks, and I love Diet Green Tea from Wawa, but Coke Zero was my number 2 for a zero-calorie drink.
I'm currently drinking a nice glass of water, if anybody's wondering what I drink usually.
Crush Grape, I think, is probably good. I can't remember the last time I had one, or if I had it more than once, but I think it's probably a B-tier soda. I don't think I've had this version.
Diet Crush?
I don't know. This looks like it might just be regular Orange Crush.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Aren't you from Virginia Beach? Isn't that like where Orange Crush comes from?
Really? I have no fucking idea.
I thought so.
I've never heard anything like that.
That's what the newspaper
I'm sure all these other ones suck. These, just by on sight, I can tell they're disgusting.
You don't like
what
cherry
Coke? What the fuck
Coke?
is Diet Right? No, I don't like any flavored Coke.
I like cherry Coke, kind of.
I don't like Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Thunder?
Grape Fanta's okay. I'd put it in C. I don't know if Crush is better than Fanta. I haven't had a grape crush in like an eternity. What are these? The other Fantas? I don't care about those. This one looks like it's probably okay. What the fuck is... Oh, it's Faygo. They don't have any other flavors of Faygo? Generally, Faygo is pretty alright. It's like the most sugary of them all. It's also the Juggalo drink. These Fresca things are shit. Mellow Yellow, I don't think I drink it in a can like this, but I've
never seen it in a can.
I consider Mellow Yellow an acceptable alternative to Mountain Dew if I have to put up with it. Grape Mellow Yellow is really good, and you used to be able to get it out of the Coke machines, but they took it out of all of them. They still have Grape Sprite, which is shit, but they took out Grape Mellow Yellow.
Who drinks really Grape Sprite?
Baja Blast is A tier. I definitely get sick of it when I have too much of it, but when it's around, I can't help myself.
Hell yeah, Code Red!
I don't like Code Red at all. Diet Mountain Dew is disgusting. Mountain Dew Ice is just Sprite. It's just a Sprite. I don't like the orange one. Pitch Black is my second favorite Mountain Dew. Like Baja Blast, it does get old, but and it's a little too like thick. But when I was a kid, Pitch Black, whenever it came around, I was obsessed with it, especially the Slurpees. Mountain Dew is the GOAT.
The only S tier soda.
It's first of all, it
perfect.
Tastes good. It's thirst quenching. It's a good palate cleanser. I like everything about it. I have no complaints about Mountain Dew except that it makes me fat and feel like shit, which all of these sodas do. So that's not really much of a thing. Don't care for Voltage. Whiteout is pretty good, but you get sick of it before you even finish a whole drink of it. So I'm going to put it in C. Maybe I'll put it in B.
I like Voltage more than Whiteout.
I don't care for Voltage. I don't like root beer. I don't know what the fuck this is. Some kind of weird old Pepsi. 1893 Pepsi. Never heard of it. The gold Pepsis. I don't even know what those are. What kind of Pepsi is this?
Cherry?
Into the trash it goes. Crystal Pepsi I've never actually had, but everybody says it's a big meme. Diet Pepsi.
Into the F's you go.
I grew up with Diet Pepsi because that was what my dad drank. It's I like it more than Diet Coke.
Yeah, same.
But it's just too fucking fizzy. Because I tried to... What ended up getting me into Coke Zero is that I was trying to get into Diet Pepsi, but I can't drink it fast enough to quench my thirst because it's so fucking fizzy. It makes me burp constantly. So it's going in C tier. Pepsi Max, same story. Regular Pepsi is not even really that... it's worse than Diet Pepsi somehow.
I agree.
So that's D tier. I don't know what this one is or this one. RC Cola sucks. Sierra Mist fucking sucks.
Was Cheer
I would
Wine
put
in
regular
this?
Sierra Mist. No, Cheer Wine was not in here.
Where would you put Cheer Wine?
Cheer Wine would be A tier. It's, again, I get sick of it if I drink it too much, and it's very, if you drink more than one in the same day, you're on your ass. It's a lot. But, yeah, I'd put it in A tier. Sprite is probably my second favorite soda after Mountain Dew. I grew up with it. It's very thirst quenching. My only real problem with it is that it has no caffeine. And, that's half the purpose of soda.
Yeah.
Sprite Zero, no thank you. I don't know what the hell Squirt is.
Oh, Squirt is like Sprite. It's
well,
like a
I've never
shitty
heard
Sprite.
of it. What the hell is this thing? Sundrop? Don't know what that is.
It's the one with the commercial with the girl who does the drop. She, twerks.
Sun-Kissed Grape. Actually, maybe Sun-Kissed Grape is the better one and Crush is the worst one. We're just going to make assumptions. Regular Sun-Kissed is probably fine. I don't know what this one is. Surge is not that great. There's some things missing from here. I would put Vault in the list, probably at a C. I would put, what was the one? Well, yeah, Cheer Wine would be an A. Other flavors of Faygo, there are some better ones. I kind of just let Faygo be a representative of all of Faygo, because I haven't had that particular
you put
flavor.
Canada Dry so low, because I use that to make mixed drinks.
Oh yeah, well that's what it's for. You don't drink it straight.
I kind of like ginger ale.
I think of it as old people shit.
I mean, I probably wouldn't get it of my own volition.
I'll put it in the D tier. It doesn't deserve to be down here with all the rest of this shit. This is all stuff I just would not drink. If you put it in front of me, I'd be like, repulsive. No thank you, I don't want it. Anything D and up, I would drink. C and up, I'd be like, yeah, okay. B and up, I'd be like, alright. But if it's A or S, I'm gonna be excited.
I would put Code Red probably an A, but if I drink it, I get really
Code Red is the most popular. Shade used to drink that exclusively.
Yeah, because he's a real gamer.
I just have never liked it. They don't have all the Mountain Dews. We don't have all the game fuels in here. But, you can fucking add Mountain Dew flavors all goddamn day. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's, egregiously missing.
It's really funny that they have Mountain Dew Ice.
The main things I would want would be Vault and Cheer Wine to be added. All right. Cereals. Now it's gonna be cereals.
Oh my god.
This is all they have though. There's not even checks. There's not even checks.
Life.
What is going on?
I'm gonna say right here, Cinnamon Life is my favorite cereal.
And it's not even in the list.
It's not in the list.
All right.
But it's a god tier cereal.
This is gonna be another really controversial. This might be the most controversial because all of these cereals are very beloved. Like everybody has a cereal that they like will die for. That they're like, no, fuck you if you insult my cereal. So this is like this is like doing a football team.
This is more intense than politics.
Yeah. So. Apple Jacks.
I like the kind of cinnamony taste that it has.
All right, well, here's what's great about this tier list. We have Godsend, runner-ups, good but not great, not good but not bad, and absolute garbage.
I'd put it in good but not great.
I put it in not good but not bad, personally. I would never choose to get Apple Jacks. I think good but not great is a fine category.
I like the cinnamony kind of like the warmth of it that you don't get from a lot of cereals, and
Cinnamon is the Winamon.
I like circle shaped cereals. I just think they're like easier to eat, and it holds up well in the milk, which is always an important quality in cereal.
Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. I'm going for runner-ups. Yeah. I like it a lot.
Crunchberry is great.
Crunchberry is one of the best like fruit tastes. It balances out the taste of Captain Crunch, which I love the taste of Captain Crunch, but if you eat just Captain Crunch straight, it does get very monotonous.
Yes.
Which I assume this is because it kind of looks like peanut butter crunch. So is
regular
regular Captain Crunch not even in the list?
Nobody picks regular Captain Crunch, baby.
Okay.
Nobody's picking that as their favorite
This is the problem
cereal.
with this website. Tier list. You have to include the stuff that's bad so I can put something in the absolute garbage tier. You have to include all of it. That's the point. All right. Well, Peanut Butter Crunch, I don't really like that much.
I like Peanut Butter Crunch a lot.
Yeah? Where would you put it?
I would probably give it a runner-up.
I would put it in good but not great. I would, because I'll just get Reese's Puffs every time.
I mean, Reese's Puffs is better.
Cocoa Puffs.
Oh, not good, but not bad, I'd say.
Dude, and it's so sad because when I was a kid, Cocoa Puffs was my favorite. But once Reese's Puffs came out, Cocoa Puffs became inedible to me. It's a monotonous taste. It's that by the end of the bowl, I'm sick of it.
It feels like you're eating dog food, too.
I guess I can see that.
But I mean, Reese's Puffs has the same problem, but you can push through it.
I don't have that problem. Reese's Puffs has that delicious chalkiness. Yeah, I'd put it in good but not bad. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a godsend, my favorite cereal. I will always want it. The only reason I don't get it every time is there's two reasons. A, to shake things up, because if I just got it all the time, I would get sick of it. But B, they give you smaller boxes of that shit, and you go through it way quicker. Yeah. When we were really on weed all the time, I was fucking plowing through boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cereal's like one of the worst foods for me because I'll just eat a ton of it. I just won't stop eating it. Like, that's why I have to like get healthy cereal now. All
right, I'm putting Cheerios not good but not bad.
I think Cheerios are a staple. They're really good with fruit.
Because they're, like I said before, when I was a kid, I was very fuck the normies. Anything that was considered the best, I hated. Cheerios was like the guy. Everybody ate Cheerios, so I was like, fuck Cheerios. As an adult, I think they're just bland. Like, they're fine, but once you eat a whole bowl of it, you're already... Like, I never finish a bowl of cereal, of Cheerios.
I love Cheerios with, like, strawberry or blueberry in it, and you put, a little bit of cinnamon in it.
You're fucking with it at that point. It's not the same.
No.
I'm talking about just straight Cheerios.
I mean, back in the day, you used to put a spoonful of sugar in your cereal because all you had was Wheaties.
I mean,
and that's what you did.
I've never seen that life.
You've never seen that in TV shows where people have like a bowl of sugar on the table and they just put sugar straight in their cereal. And now they just started making sugary cereals because people
did that.
Yeah, I mean, Cheerios, in my opinion, are good for you too. It's just like whole wheat. I'd put them in probably runner up.
That's
honestly
disgusting.
You
put things in your fucking thing though. It's not the same.
No, you can't put strawberries in cinnamon toast.
I know, but consider Cheerios with no strawberries. Just consider it plain.
But like, I will eat them plain. Like, even as a kid, like that would be one of my snacks. Is like a bag of Cheerios. I like the taste of Cheerios.
All right, well, I like the taste of Frosted Flakes.
I like Frosted Flakes too, but they're so bad for you.
Frosted Flakes have a problem of they get mushy really fast. And they're not the worst mushy cereal, but it's so fast. And I also hate that
great.
When you get to the end of the cereal bowl, they're all just tiny pieces. Like, and it takes all like, you're just like trying to scoop up all the shit. So yeah, I would say good but not great.
Not great.
Fruit Loops I've never been a huge fan of. I think it's just like first of all, they also get soggy way too easily, and when they get soggy, they are disgusting.
Fruit Loops are not as good as Apple Jacks.
I agree. Soggy Fruit Loops are sad. I'd put it in not good but not bad.
Yeah.
I don't hate them.
I used to really eat Fruit Loops because the box was red, and I was really into it.
I mean, I ate them a lot as a kid just because it was one of the guys.
Yeah.
It's one of the good ones.
You gotta like it. He's your friend. But you can't say
Frosted Mini Wheats I don't think I've ever eaten before.
Frosted Mini Wheats runs the problem of they're just too big. They're big boys, but I ate a lot of that as a kid. I'm gonna say they're good but not great.
All right, I'll give it to you because I don't know it. Fruity Pebbles, they're fine. They get mushy. It just kind of feels like you're shoveling a mass of shit into your face.
The best use of Fruity Pebbles is in like Rice Krispie treats. When people make them out of Fruity Pebbles.
I've never had that before.
It's really good, but like as a cereal on its own, the pieces are too small and they fall apart. But I do like the taste.
I don't like getting them stuck in my throat, and they get
Pebble
soggy
milk
like
is
immediately.
Good, though. Like the milk that it leaves.
I'm not a fan of just like a swirl of fruit flavors. I'd prefer it to have like one strong fruit flavor.
I mean, it tastes like Tart. It's just like a Tart kind of taste.
I think it's not good but not bad.
Okay. That's fine with me.
I don't think I've ever had Golden Grams.
Oh, Golden Grams are great.
Yeah? Well, where do you put them?
I'd put them good but not great.
Okay. And you just said they're great.
They're not a runner-up.
I don't think I've had Honey Bunches of Oats either.
I like the flavors that don't kill me. But they're really expensive. That's the thing I don't like about it. It's just like it's really expensive, and if I want like a healthy cereal, like you're kidding yourself. You're not getting a healthy cereal. Just get the Cheerios and put the fruit in it.
All right, where do you rank them? I don't think I've had
not good, but not bad.
Okay. Honeycomb I don't like at all. I don't think I would eat it.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I think I would put it in absolute garbage. Smacks?
Absolute garbage.
Yeah, agreed.
Lucky Charms, absolute garbage. Disgusting.
The marshmallows are gross.
Oh,
I don't like them at all.
And the regular cereal pieces are bad. You don't get anything good out of it.
No, it's miserable. It's like two very sharp, extreme flavors that like you put it in your mouth and you're like, oh, the cereal's bland. And then you bite into the thing and you're like, ah, that hurts.
There's nothing redeeming about it.
So I did not like Pops at all growing up, but I got into them later because they're one of the best cereals dry. They're one of the few that you can like grab a handful of Pops and just shove them in your face. With milk, they're okay. They're another one that when they're soggy, they're disgusting. I might think good but not great. Or, yeah, I think that's fair. Raisin Bran, I'm not a fan.
I only like it because it has raisins in it.
I would put it not good but not bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Reese's Puffs, absolutely godsend. You will if you open my cabinets on any given day, you'll probably find either Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Reese's Puffs in there. I will plow through. I'm just a big Reese's fan. Like the taste of Reese's.
Oh no!
And I will eat every type of Reese's. It's almost the only candy I ever fucking buy. There's different brands of Reese's. So yeah, I fucking love it. Special K. I have never had Special K.
I'd rather have Cheerios and put in particular the red berry one. I've never seen a thin person eat Special K.
That's funny.
Because it's marketed as a health food, but it's not. No. It's like dried fruit, which is not good for you. With cereal in itself is not good for you. Mm-hmm. But it's not good. Special K sucks.
Would you put it in absolute garbage?
Yeah, if Cheerios is so low.
Alright, Trix, I think I liked them as a kid. I definitely don't anymore.
Oh my god, as I've grown up, it's like Trix really are for kids.
They are for kids. Trix are for kids. You can't eat them if you're a grown-up. I didn't even... No, you know what? I didn't like them that much as a kid either. Do they have marshmallows in them?
No, they changed the shape of them, because it used to be like fruit. Used to be like fruit shaped, and then they became balls, and it's like, this is the worst. Downgrade. Garbage.
Yeah, absolute garbage. Not a kid. Proud to not be a kid. Rice Krispies as a cereal, I think, sucks. I love Rice Krispie treats, but I mean, I would put it as not good but not bad. It gets soggy way too easily, and it's pretty bland.
Same.
You have to eat like a giant bowl of it to get full.
Cheerios does
and
better.
It doesn't. I think this might be what people like about it, but it's never even. It's like the stuff on top is crunchy and the stuff on the bottom is soggy, and it's too extreme of a difference. And I want it to be in the middle. So yeah, I'd put it there. All right,
this is beautiful.
This will probably piss some people off.
It's
but,
okay. If you don't think Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a great cereal,
I'll raise up Cheerios for you.
Thank you. Cheerios are great.
When I see it in the lineup, I'm like, Cheerios deserves better than this.
Yeah.
I mean, I might put Cocoa Puffs a one up, and I've of course never had Golden Grams or Frosted Mini Wheats.
Dude, put Mini Wheats down one.
All right.
You can't really even eat those.
Okay.
That's better.
I don't know Golden Grams. I don't know Apple. I feel like I'd like Apple Jacks more now than I did before. But it's just like breaking me out of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Reese's Puffs, and occasional Crunch Berries loop is like really difficult. Like I love them all too much. I don't want to venture far, you know. But there's clearly a lot of stuff missing here.
The Cinnabon cereal.
Cinnamon Life. All the, like, Count Chocula, Boo Berry, Cinnabon, fucking, all the different flavors of this stuff. The Churros Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and the
that
cinnamon,
was a mistake.
The stupid, what the fuck are the French Toast Crunch? Those suck. There's a lot of alternate flavors that could be in here.
Pebbles.
This is a disastrously
Cocoa
incomplete cereal tier list.
Interesting.
All right, we have two more of these. N64 games. Now, this is also pretty incomplete, but we both grew up with the N64, so I figured, why not?
Yes.
Banjo Kazooie, overrated game.
I kind of agree. I had fun playing it, but it's not like something I look back and remember being great.
It's fun for a little while. It has good art design. It has good level design, but the death system is so fucking garbage, and it's so easy to die. And you just constantly are losing massive amounts of progress and having to redo it. It gets unreasonably hard, like, halfway through. And, I don't know. I would give it, like, a B. I think I enjoy it enough to not put it that low, you know. But I just think most people consider it, like, one of the best N64 games. I think that's a bit much. Doom 64, I'm pretty sure, is basically just Doom on the N64. But I've heard that it's like one of the worst Doom ports. Doom is too hard for me in any case, so I'm gonna give it a B because I love Doom, but it's hard as shit. I've never played Perfect Dark.
Me neither.
I've heard it's amazing. We gotta create a haven't played.
Do it
on here. Hold on. How do you
just like new insert it below? Add row below, and make it black. Like there we go. Just not played.
Yeah, I know, I know a lot about it, but I haven't played it. Conker's Bad Fur Day, also overrated game. Have you ever played this game?
I have never actually played it because the game was like an A, but I've seen playthroughs of it.
The thing about Conker's Bad Fur Day is that the dialogue is great, the voice acting is phenomenal. The actual gameplay, it's an adventure game, and basically it's just a bunch of like mini games in a way that are like you go to a place and you have to do a unique challenge for that area, but they're all badly programmed. Like every single one is frustrating and not fun, and it's just a million different little frustrating, not fun things that you have to do between an otherwise fun storyline. So, like, again, I'm giving it a B. I think it's definitely... I got too frustrated and couldn't finish it because I just didn't think it was fun to play.
You're going to give it a B?
Yeah. I mean, the story, the dialogue is great.
Fantastic.
Like, I love listening to the voice acting in particular.
It's great to just watch a Let's Play of because you don't have to sit through playing the game. But, like, I can think of games I'd rather play over that.
Yeah. I haven't played Resident Evil 2.
Me neither.
Especially not on the N64.
Oh, my God, I
Kirby
love
and the Crystal Shards is definitely one of my favorite N64 games.
Yeah.
I have some complaints. It is slow. The movement is slow. But
Kirby is not a... he's not supposed to be a fast guy.
Not necessarily, yeah. But
Only
this game had the
melee.
power combinations. And, like, because this was my first Kirby game, that was an expectation I had of Kirby, was that you could combine powers. And so every other game was disappointing to me for not having that. Combining powers was, like, the most fun. Even if a lot of them were shitty, some of them were fucking awesome. And the aesthetic of the game is really delightful. It's beautiful. It's still beautiful to this day because the art design is so good. It's fun. I got 100% in it, beat the secret boss. That was fun. So I would definitely put it in at least A,
I'd give
if
it an
not
S. I'd give it an S.
I think we're gonna put it in S.
I remember that game from my childhood.
I've never played Donkey Kong 64.
Dude, me neither.
All right.
Mega Man 64.
I like Mega Man 64. I've never beaten it. We did like some Let's Play of it.
But it was really hard to play on the emulator.
It was like the emulator was fucky, but it's a game that I've never beaten, but I've played through a little bit of it several times, and I've always had fun. I just like that it's a very different take on an action RPG.
Yes.
And I love action RPGs. I'd probably give it an A. All right, Majora's Mask. So I've only gotten a little bit into this game. This is like one of the Zeldas that I've been putting off because it's a daunting game. Mm-hmm. It's one where it really requires concentration. It requires you to like really learn the world, learn about all the characters. It's story intensive. It's something that like I am like almost afraid of diving into. But from what I've played, I don't think it will be my favorite. I think that I will give it an A. And that's just my presupposition. Maybe I'll change my mind once I play the whole thing. Quote me later. F-Zero X. I didn't play that much of F-Zero X. I played way more F-Zero GX.
Me too.
I think it's probably like a decent game, but I just never got that into it. I'll give it a B. Why not?
Yeah, sounds fair.
Duke Nukem 64. I never learned how to play as a kid. I think I might have rented it once. I'll put it in never played. I'd be interested in going back to it. Mortal Kombat 4 sucks. This was the first 3D Mortal Kombat game. It feels like shit. Everything's like just slow and janky, and I don't like it at all. I'm giving it a D.
Paper Mario.
I never played Paper Mario.
Oh no, I love Paper Mario.
What would you give it? I know it's like one of the most beloved. The first two Paper Mario games are.
I haven't revisited it in a while. I haven't really seen anybody play it, but I just remember it being a really good time, really interesting story, cool mechanics.
Yeah. I want to play it. It's definitely on my
I'm gonna
list.
give it an A.
All right. Bomberman 64. First of all, where's Bomberman Hero? Where's Bomberman the Second Attack? I'm just gonna let this represent the entire Bomberman trilogy on the 64, even though they're all completely different games. I fucking love the Bomberman games. I think they're super underrated.
Yes.
The music in these games is incredible. Jungle music. I love the aesthetic of them. I love Bomberman. These games made me... Like, when I was a kid, I thought Bomberman was the shit until I played literally any game that wasn't on the N64. They're all garbage. So I'm going to give that an A. This Castlevania game I haven't played. I've heard that both these games are fucking totally dog shit. Like they get clowned on a lot, but I haven't played them. Earthworm Jim 3. I think I might have played this a little bit, and it was really hard, but I'm not going to count it as a game I've played. Super Mario 64.
One of the best games of all time.
I think it's justifiable to say that. Personally, I've never been a huge fan because the game is frustrating as shit if you're not good at it, and I've never gotten good at it. But like, I can't in good conscience give it less than an A. It's one of those games that I will just watch somebody else play.
I think it deserves an S because this is a game that has.
Would you personally give it an S though if you played it? Like, do you think you would give it? Because like when I play it, I find it fun at parts and then like so frustrating at other parts that I don't want to play it. If I watch somebody play it, I can have a good time.
Yeah.
But like, I can't give it an S personally. But I mean, I mean, everybody else is gonna give it an S culturally. So if it's on my list, this is our list. But Rayman 2 I never played.
Me neither.
I can't even tell what the fuck this is. It's a guy and a girl with big tits.
Titties?
Oh, it's Killer Instinct. I never played it.
Oh, there's so many games that I haven't played. So sad.
Mario Kart 64. You only played about 5 seconds of this at a gamer bar that we went to, but you've played later Mario Karts. Yeah. This was like the seminal one. From my childhood, I played the shit out of Mario Kart 64. It's got the Rainbow Road. It's called the Rainbow Road. It's a road where you go when you die. I'm giving it an A. It was my favorite rental as a kid. Well, one of my favorite rentals as a kid.
Is that Mario Party 3?
Mario Party 3.
Oh, I fucking love 3. 3 is my favorite Mario Party.
What would you rank it?
For a Mario Party?
Yeah.
An A. It's a Mario Party.
You know, like, I'm only giving it this score because I hate Mario Party, but I remember liking it as a kid. I remember liking the first 3, but, like, I just hate all the later ones so much. Yeah. It's hard for me to know if the early ones were better. Mario Party 2.
I didn't like 2 as much. I'd give it a B or a C.
Alright, we'll give it a B. They don't even have 1 in here. I don't know why. Pokemon Snap, I think, is an S tier fucking game.
Yeah.
It's not that the game is so incredible, because there's a lot that could have been fixed about it. It didn't have... It needed more Pokemon. It needed more levels. It's very short. But it's just such a unique mechanic that's never really been duplicated. It's an on-rails shooter, except that it's a photo game, you know? And there's just lots of different little secrets.
Print out your photos at Blockbuster. What more could you ask for?
This is one of those games where just the mystery of learning how to unlock all the Pokemon was so fun.
Yeah.
And you know,
I had the Prima guide for it, so I got everybody.
I mean, really even using the guide, like just seeing that stuff was in the game, was exciting.
It's really cool.
And it's one of those that you can just go back and play and beat it in like 2 hours and have a good time.
This is a list that V is gonna trash on.
That's fine. I don't give a shit about V. Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon Stadium was initially a huge letdown to me as a kid, because I was expecting a Pokemon game, and what I got was just a Pokemon battle game that's impossible. Like, if you try to just beat the story mode, it's impossible.
Okay, it's pretty much impossible to do round 2, the Poke Cup, without your own Pokemon, because, like, the Pokemon that the opponents are using are like level 20s and your rentals are like level 15, and you just get fucking trounced because like the strategies in the game are like your opponents are like using a horn drill and stuff on you, and it's like gonna connect, and if you don't have your own team, it's pretty difficult. I've never beaten the whole game, but like I've gotten so many hours and so much enjoyment out of Pokemon Stadium, from the mini games to like...
Well, so the thing is that the mini games were like, me and my brothers would play that shit constantly, but Pokemon Stadium 2, once it came out, there was no reason to return to 1. Like, the mini games were better. You had all the Pokemon from, you know, the first 2 gens as opposed to just the first gen, so it was like, I would personally give Pokemon Stadium 1 like a B and 2 an A.
Sounds good to me.
As far as N64 games go.
Yeah.
There's still games that I would return to and play today.
Me too.
Star Fox 64, pretty great. I don't know if you played it.
I've never played it.
It's a lot of fun. It's just a shooter game where it's fast.
I've seen your Let's Play of it.
It's fast. It's short, but it has multiple paths. You know, it's. I mean, I think in everybody's mind, pretty much, it's like the go-to space shooter, like the arcade space shooter game in 3D. Like, it just seems like Nintendo themselves seem to think they did it so well that there was no reason to just do the same thing again, and instead they fuck around with it every time, and nobody likes it as much. Yep. So, I would give it an A. It's not an S for me because it's not a game I've played a whole lot of, but I have a lot of respect for it. Super Smash Bros. Absolutely S tier. Obviously, it's been improved upon. I would say Melee is my favorite Smash.
Yeah, it's the best Smash.
I mean, I played the shit out of Smash on N64 from the time it came out. You know, Pikachu is my main. Played it with my friends. It kind of, because of the fact that it's like the most fun multiplayer game, and like for me growing up, multiplayer was the main thing.
Yeah.
It was like unavoidable. Ocarina of Time is one of my favorite video games of all time.
Indeed.
Super satisfying movement, super interesting world that will stick with me forever. I'll never forget anything that happened in that game, so it's like... That's one where I legitimately can't take off the nostalgia goggles. Like, if there is something wrong... Like, I mean, there's obvious things that it could be improved on with it, but I just like it more than any of the other Zelda games, other than like maybe Wind Waker. And part of that is the controls, and part of it's nostalgia.
I that was one of the first games that like I watched my dad beat all the way through, but like I have a lot of memories of just like staying up late and watching him beat it.
I first,
but like
it took
Redeads, like I tried to play it by myself, and the Redeads literally scared me so much as a kid. Yeah. Like I couldn't do it.
I did not actually beat Ocarina of Time until I was like 22. I just had watched like my brother and my cousin beat it multiple times over the years. Goldeneye, I only ever rented it like once as a kid and couldn't figure out the controls.
Oh my god, I played the fuck out of Goldeneye as a kid. Yeah. Because it was a game that like everybody in my family wanted to play. And it was an awesome party game for the time, but man, it does not hold up.
No, I think it gets clowned on a lot for that now. I think I played it with somebody on a Let's Play, and I was just like, I hate this. There are, of course, like Donkey made a video one time about how the game plays like shit, but they have like you can mod it on PC to make it playable, and like if you play it with mods, it is fun. But we're talking about the N64. I would give it a B. It's important, doesn't hold up. Yoshi's Story. Yoshi's Story is a game that I like want to love because as a kid, I loved this game as a kid. Big rental for me and Victor. Don't think we ever beat it, but it was just, I think it's the fact that the levels are open-ended and it's not about reaching the end of the level. You just collect a certain amount of fruit, so you can spend a lot of time in the levels just like hanging out, and it has a really bizarre and cool aesthetic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite aesthetic because it's weird. It's unappealing in certain ways, but it's still really interesting, and it is frustrating in certain ways. I tried to come back to it like a few years back, and there were just elements of it that kind of rubbed me weird. So I would give it a B. I think it's better than probably a lot of people think, but not as good as I want it to be. You didn't
give anything a C.
No, I mean, there's probably a couple of these, like, I don't know, maybe GoldenEye deserves a C, but it's hard to say, or Mario Party 2, or Doom. I can't, like, I know that Doom 64 is just Doom, and I like Doom, so I don't want to score it, like, badly, but I have heard that it's, like, the worst Doom, so it might be a C. I don't really know.
One more.
We have one more.
I'm getting tired.
PCP University Lectures tier list maker.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
All right. So I think the Chris Chan lecture, the OG, was legendary.
Yeah, it's an S.
It's definitely
I'll watch
S-tier.
it. I'd watch it every single night before bed, honestly, if I had to.
I also would consider the Parkour Dude 91 one to be S tier.
Yeah.
And that's because experiencing it firsthand was like it was captivating because Munchie was completely in character. He starts off with this insane screaming, goes straight into the story that was just like, it was totally mind-blowing, and like because I'd never seen any of the videos, like once he showed it to me, I was like, how could you have not known this was fake? But like because I hadn't seen it, didn't know anything, I was just like enraptured in this story. And then when he drops the cannonball at the end and ties it into his personal life, it was just like, it was legitimately IRL, a hard-hitting artistic performance art moment for me. So, yeah, I have to give that an S tier.
Epic.
Biggest problem in the universe lecture.
I would give it an A. It was thoroughly entertaining through and through.
I think that I gave probably the most thorough portrait of the characters in the story, because you can go through the facts, but like I was analyzing the mindsets of the people involved, and at least in Dick's opinion, accurately, and like I didn't just want to blow out Maddox the whole time. I wanted people to understand like why this guy was respected and liked, and why like this was so weird. One of my posters is like crumpling up behind us. Yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. I think I'm cool. All right.
Fantasy one. Dude, Nate spent so much time researching it, and as somebody who like has attempted to play all the Final Fantasy games, it is a endeavor, let me tell you.
On the one hand, I kind of think the Final Fantasy lecture is the worst one insofar as it's not an interconnected story. So he's just telling you the plots of each Final Fantasy game. And a lot of them are worth just playing yourself and not getting an abridged take on it. And it went on for so fucking long.
Oh, too long.
Like, so, I mean, I still like it. Like, it inspired me to go play Final Fantasy X, and I loved it. And, like, I thought it was interesting to, like, if, you know, some of those games I'm not going to probably ever play, so it was nice to learn about them. But I would give it a B. And that's probably the lowest score I'm going to give any of these. Well, actually, if I give it a B, then I have to put other things on the same tier as mine that I might not want to.
Put it even a C. Yeah. I think it was great, but, like, it's not the best.
Yeah. I mean, this is not school grades. This is just in comparison to each other. I think it's unfair to have it, like, this is like a ranking from God tier to, like sub-god tier to top tier to high tier, you know? Yeah. So anyway.
They're all good.
They are all good. I would put the... I think Kingdom Hearts I might put on par with mine because it was very fun.
It was super interesting, too.
The story, like... He made the story seem like it's not really as complicated as people think it is. And, like, if you've played all the games and you've paid attention, you can follow it. It's just, it's convoluted. It's not necessarily confusing. It's just dumb. It's dumb and convoluted. And it's not good. And that was the most important thing about that lecture is that, like, he really clarified that, like, hey, being a Kingdom Hearts fan doesn't mean that you're, like, some autist who thinks this story is actually meaningful and good. Like, it is a bad story. I'm just engaged with it because I like the games, you know, and I want to know everything. And he had all the gimmicks with the singing and all that. It was a fun time. I would put...
The Guilty Gear one, right?
I would put Guilty Gear at a B.
I really liked it. It was super interesting. It like, I didn't realize that I would care about it.
I love Guilty Gear, so I was, like, primed to like it. And I enjoyed it overall. I would say that the story isn't as inherently interesting as, or like
Kingdom Hearts is.
Well, I mean, it's more fun than Kingdom Hearts in the sense that the story is batshit crazy. It's just that there isn't enough, like, logical through line by comparison. Like, it's kind of madness. And, like, when you get into the later games, you get to a point where you're like, okay, well, this has gone off the rails. Like, this has gotten just ridiculous. Tails Gets Trolled probably gets
an A.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm torn between an A and a B because I don't like a lot of it just felt like it's just a linear webcomic, you know, like you're just telling the story of a comic that you could just go read, and it's basically just saying, how hilarious is that someone wrote this webcomic, which you could kind of experience by reading it.
Let's give it a B then. I thought it was funny as fuck, but like
it was funny as fuck though. I mean, so I don't want to give it low. Of them. Like what I really love.
I think a B is fine. I think a B is good.
Like what I like the most about the lectures is the fact that they're telling you about something that you would you shouldn't go research.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't consume this media. You shouldn't just go read this. You should. Or it's too complicated for you to do that. Like Kingdom Hearts, you shouldn't go play all those games. And, having somebody explain it all will mean that you don't have to. You shouldn't go play those
games just to know what it's about.
Right.
Like, if you want to play the games, it's fine. But, like, with Final Fantasy,
a lot of them are shit.
You shouldn't play all of the games.
No, with Final Fantasy, though, there's a lot of them that you should, and you won't get anything out of a lecture that you wouldn't get out of just playing it. Tails Gets Trolled. I mean, I wouldn't read this comic, and it was a lot of fun to hear him talk about it. So I think it could still be an A. And it was also a shorter one.
Yeah, I think that's a plus.
I think I'll give it an A.
I mean, and also Ben is fantastic at wrapping it up and making it interesting.
Yeah, he's a good storyteller.
Exactly. This is the kind of thing that's for. I didn't like the Spirit Science one that much.
I give Spirit Science a B because I loved the memery of it. I loved learning about Toth and the Kundalini and like how much Munchie was like into it, but it just wasn't structured enough.
Yeah,
it had too much chanting, too much Munchie fumbling and forgetting where he was in the story. And of course Spirit Science is just mania. You know, it's just like someone coming back from their manic episodes and describing what they think the universe's history is, but the fact that it is so like memorable in like what the terminology is and like the characters, you know,
it was a good one. They're all good.
I would say it had more so than being entertaining in the moment, it had a lasting impact on me in that like I, you know, have Toth as this character that I think about now. But yeah,
this is beautiful.
Whoever
made this,
all of them are good. So this is just how they compare to each other.
Somebody made this.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell made this. This is just something that I found on the website. All right, well next time we'll do the anime ones. You can preview them by just looking at the top of the screen, and we'll see you then.